for Mark. Back to you.
All right, Jeff, thank you. We have some special things coming up at 5.
Oh, yeah, DeniseZOO and ChrisTanaka at the zoo. Yeah, they're at the zoo. Guys, how you doing out there?
That's right. You know, we're doing a lot better now that the rain has stopped. We came in under a few raindrops, nothing major, but it's nice and dry for our live broadcast here coming up at 5. And I want all of you to meet ChrisTanaka, our newest member of the Cleveland 19 News family. So happy you're with us, Chris.
It's so good to be here, not only with you at the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo, but at this moment.
Yeah.
Been working for a week behind the scenes, waiting to get going, and we're finally here. Can't wait to have a great show for everyone at 5 o'clock. We're not just going to have fun. We're going to talk about the news of the day, the weather that's been iffy and undecided all day long, and some great new exhibits coming up at the zoo. One of them gets you up close and personal with tigers. I don't know how close and up personal you want to get, but Tiger Passage will allow it. We'll talk about that.
It's going to be cool. And then some news out of Rio to tell you about. Maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't, but 4 of our Olympians were robbed at gunpoint over there in Rio. Crooks posing as police officers even put a gun to their heads. We're going to tell you about that.
And also, if you're getting ready to plug in and have a workout this evening, we want to let you know about a certain playlist you may want to download. It belongs to one Mr. President himself, Barack Obama. What does he listen to? You may be surprised. I saw some of it, and I'm liking his taste.
Also coming up, you're going to have to see this to believe it. A woman busted, a driver caught behind the wheel, driving with her toes. Why? Because her hands were busy texting for real. So look for those stories and more when you join Chris and me coming up at 5 o'clock.
Cleveland 19 News Ford First Alert Weather is powered by Ford. Go further.
Book learning. We are going back out to DeniseZOO and ChrisTanaka live at the zoo at 5. That begins in just minutes. Do not feed the anchors.
Dear fellow citizen.
And I want to say good evening to you, coming to you live from the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. And I want to introduce to you my new co-anchor, ChrisTanaka, who just moved here from sunny Hawaii. Are you crazy? No.
It's good to be here in Cleveland, a city where my dad was born, and I just had lunch with my aunt yesterday. The moment was so profound. It's good to be at the Metroparks Zoo, where my family and I are already annual pass holders.
There you go.
And it's really good, best of all, to be with you. I've waited a week for this to get going, and let's get out of the gates and have ourselves a good show and a great product.
So happy to have you here, Chris. And I know that your dad was born in Lakewood, right?
That's right.
And your aunt lives in Cleveland, and she's a nun.
And she's
at St. Joe's.
Retired now.
Oh, retired now.
But she's still on the campus of St. Joe's, and we had a lovely lunch out there with all the ladies yesterday. It was fantastic.
And you're moving west, okay? This is our, you know, the typical Cleveland question: are you moving west or east? And he's moving west.
So we learned, yes. We just had an offer accepted on a house in Lakewood. We couldn't be happier. Blocks from where my old man was born. I cannot even believe it. The moment is so profound.
Well, everyone knows I grew up in North Olmsted. So,
that's
we like to say west is best. But the east siders say east is ecstasy. A lot to do on the east side as well.
It was a difficult decision because the east is beautiful.
It is. You're going to love Cleveland. And we're happy to have you. And you your wife and your 2 children are already here.
That's right. 2 young boys running all around.
Terrific. Well, they're going to enjoy the zoo. And, you know, being out here today, I started reading more about the Metroparks Zoo. I've been here countless times, hundreds of times. I did not know that the zoo was founded in 1882. So it's really cool. I'm learning new things today as well.
It's remarkable. The exhibits are everywhere. You walk through. It's got a good flow. 5 of our best friends are behind us. The elephants have been let out to play. They're enjoying a day that's been cool and free of a lot of that hot sun and muggy weather we've been experiencing recently, but certainly a day that hasn't made up its mind much as far as the rain.
I know. It was nice and sunny, and then all of a sudden a few raindrops here and there. And Jeff Tanchek is joining us now. Jeff, I can see sort of dark clouds in the distance. What's it looking like on radar? Are we going to get drenched here?
No,
We're going to be here live for you throughout the broadcast here at 5 o'clock.
That's right. We're going to be talking about some new exhibits first. We're going to toss it inside to my 9 and 10 p.m. co-anchor on CLE 43, Tiffany Tucker, with the news of the day. Good evening, Tiffany.
Hello, guys. Yeah, we got to get to these stories. We're following a murder, and that's where we find DeniseZOO and the newest member to the Cleveland 19 News team, Mr. ChrisTanaka. How you guys doing?
Doing well out here. It may seem like we're open in the enclosure, but we have great shelter above.
That's right. We're
Just to be in the air of full disclosure here.
Yeah, right by
Absolutely.
the elephant, so it's great. We have a thatched roof overhead.
Yeah, we'll be here all hour long.
That's right.
Down in Old Brooklyn.
And it's a good thing we're here today because, you know, it's not that crowded. I think some people were afraid of the rain, so it's a perfect size crowd, not too crazy. Come on down and join us if you'd like to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. A good time to get on here, and especially as we approach Labor Day and the end of summer, it's always important to get down here. It doesn't take a whole lot of gas to get here either.
It doesn't, that's for sure. We want to talk about gas prices tonight for you. And those new school buildings makes such a difference for the kids going into that brand new school. They feel great about it with all the latest technology.
It really does, not just the school children, but the community at large. One of the important reasons we chose Lakewood was that commitment not only to the infrastructure, but education as a whole. Love it.
It's a great community. You're going to love it there. Well, we have a lot coming up still ahead on Cleveland 19 News at 5 tonight.
Welcome back to the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. Great host tonight. We're going to talk about the zoo and some of the new exhibits we have.
That's right. And I want to mention that the zoo is open during the week until 5 o'clock, which is why the crowd is starting to clear out. On the weekends, they're open until 7 o'clock at night. 10 a.m. is the magic time that they open every day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, right? Okay, so it's 10 to 5 weekdays, 10 to 7 on the weekends. More than 1 million people visit the zoo every year. It is a very popular place, and it's due in part to the amazing exhibits that they have here. Joining us now to talk about that is the Executive Director of the Metroparks Zoo, Dr. Christopher Kuhar. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. I love this elephant exhibit. I know it's been open a few years, but it's still one of the main attractions when you walk through the door.
I think you should move your evening news here permanently. You have this great view, right?
That'd be great.
Who can argue with a view like that?
I know. And look at, they're having their afternoon snack.
Yeah. African Elephant Crossing has been a big draw for us. It opened in 2011, and it's been a great habitat for our 5 elephants, Willie, and then the 4 girls hanging out with him today.
Big Willie and the Gals, a mainstay exhibit. Well, we're talking about a new one, Tiger Passage. Sounds ominous, but entertaining.
Oh, Roseboro Tiger Passage has been great for us. We just opened it this summer, and we've had tigers here for a long time, but always the view was from pretty far away, right? It was a moated exhibit, kind of that old school, built in the 60s, but we wanted to bring guests closer in a safe way, so we used a lot of glass barriers to get you up close so you can see how big and magnificent the animals are. But kind of the signature of the exhibit are 2 overhead passages that the cats can go from one exhibit to another. So we've got 4 different exhibits that they can roam through, 5 times the amount of space that they had before. So it's a great experience for the guests.
One of my favorites has always been the snow leopard. And now there's a baby, so it's even more exciting. Last time I was here just a couple weeks ago, I got so close. I got the best pictures. Have we named the baby yet?
Baby Samira.
Okay.
So we went out and proposed 4 names for everyone on our website, and Samira came back with the most votes. So it's great, you know, and the keepers I know are going to short it to Sammy or something like that. But Samira's her name, and she's great with Mom. And as she gets a little bit bigger, she's going to be moving into that outside enclosure.
Okay.
But the great thing about snow leopards in Cleveland is that, you know, they're 365-day cats out here. They can be out in the winter, you know, all winter long. So they're ready for it. I hope you are, but they're ready.
You know, I was going to ask you, just off the top of my head, snow leopards are notoriously reclusive animals.
They are.
How do they exhibit in a zoo setting?
They do pretty well. You know, our biggest challenge with snow leopards is the heat of the summer. So we've got fans and the air conditioning, and they can come into the building. But once it cools off, you know, they're gonna climb around and do real well.
Fantastic.
And you have a lot of special days coming up. Tell me about Grandparents' Day. How does that work?
Yeah, Grandparents' Day is coming up, so any grandparent can get into the zoo. It's on Sunday, September 11th.
Okay.
So come on out, and then we also have our Senior Safari, which is on Wednesday, August 31st. So anyone 62 or better gets in free on that Wednesday. So we've got some great events. You know, and everybody thinks that you know the summer season's over, right? You talked about back to school, but the weather's going to start cooling off. Even on a rainy day like this, the animals are a little bit more active. It's a little bit cooler. It's a great time to come to the zoo. Enjoy it before the snow flies, because it's going to be coming soon. Right?
All right.
Hopefully not too soon.
Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you all for coming out.
As we say, as the weather changes, we need to be on top of it. The man always on top of it for us, Jeff Tanchak. Jeff, what's going on out there?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, you're used to some heat. You came to us from Hawaii,
Heat and humidity, sure, but we had those cooling trade winds that blow across the island chain, so it's going to be hot. We're out all week live at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So
tomorrow we're going to be at Progressive Field in the oppressive stuff that Jeff was talking about, but at least they'll get the ball game in, right?
Yeah, hopefully so. Hey, behind us, Big Willie and the Gals sounds like a band. It's not. It's just the 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Cleveland 19 News, 5 o'clock, coming to you live tonight from the beautiful Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. And as you can see behind us, the elephants are having their afternoon snack. Big Willie is the big one in the background. He was just up on his hind legs, and boy, is he huge. Yeah,
the 4 gals with him, Callie, Martika, Shenga, and Mofi. We are just the co-stars. They're putting on the show for sure.
They are. Hey, are you a fan of Downton Abbey?
Never watched an episode.
Honestly, I have never watched it either. I never have time, but PBS canceled the popular show last year.
Yeah, so I hear. A new drama, however, is going to be filling its slot.
From now.
4 hours after the White House released it. I would imagine he's the commander-in-chief. You want to know how he de-stresses.
Absolutely. He's a good singer, too. What's your favorite kind of music?
It's like food. I consume mass quantities based on how I feel.
All right. Well, Jeff is keeping an eye on the rain that has moved in and out. Jeff, are we in the clear for the night?
Welcome back to Cleveland Metroparks Zoo and Cleveland 19 News at 5. Fitting, we're in front of some elephants. Wish we had some donkeys because now we're talking politics.
That's right. A lot going on this afternoon. Donald Trump is talking terrorism in Youngstown, Ohio today, and Hillary Clinton is campaigning with Vice President Joe Biden in his hometown, Scranton, PA. Joining us now is Ryan Nobles, our running mate correspondent, to fill us in on the latest today. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Chris and Denise, and you're right. You know, the Clinton team in Scranton today, they were already pushing back on Donald Trump's big announcement from Youngstown today. Trump believes that Democrats, including the current administration, have not taken the threat of radical Islamic terrorism seriously enough, and Trump is taking a big gamble that the American people agree. It is an issue that polls show is among the most important to American voters. And Donald Trump believes he has an edge.
We will defeat radical Islamic terrorism.
Trump outlining a plan to rein in the terror group ISIS today, calling for banning people from countries with a heavy terrorist footprint, where it's tough to vet visa applications, establishing a test that would question visa applicants about their support for U.S. values, and more cooperation with Middle Eastern allies. And he's arguing that Hillary Clinton isn't up to the task.
Hillary Clinton lacks the judgment, stability, temperament, and the moral character to lead our nation.
But Clinton isn't backing down. Her campaign put out a memo by a senior policy advisor that called Trump erratic and thin-skinned. And she had one of the Democratic Party's most prominent foreign policy experts joining her on the trail.
This man is totally, thoroughly unqualified to be president of the United States of America.
Vice President Joe Biden said Trump can't be trusted, an argument fueled by news that Trump's campaign manager, Paul Manafort, is under investigation for receiving illegal payments from the former ruling party in Ukraine, a party with close ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin, an allegation Manafort calls silly. The back and forth, though, shows how important the issue has become, and how the candidate who makes the most convincing case could have a good shot at becoming the next president of the United States. And Clinton not done yet reminding voters that Trump still hasn't released his tax returns yet. Both she and her running mate Tim Kaine have done so. And Trump's running mate Mike Pence has also signaled that he plans to release his tax returns as well. That would leave Trump as the only major party presidential or vice presidential candidate yet to do so. Chris and Denise?
Ryan, a question for you on Scranton, the location itself. Hillary Clinton there with VP Biden. That's coal mining country. What's the significance of that play?
Well, there's both a symbolic and a strategic move there by the Clinton campaign to spend some time there. Clinton and Biden both have deep familial connections to Scranton. Hillary Clinton never lived there, but her father lived there. Her grandfather was a prominent figure in Scranton. And of course, that was where Joe Biden was born and raised. But by campaigning there, they show that they're going after the Donald Trump voter, the white, middle-class blue-collar voter. That is Trump's bread and butter. It's those kind of voters that he hopes will propel him to a victory in not only Pennsylvania, but in Ohio as well. If they can steal some votes away from Trump in a place like Scranton, they'll be well on their way to keeping Pennsylvania in the Democratic column.
All right, Ryan Noble's live in D.C. for us. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Interesting policy. 84 days away. Can you even believe it? And of course, Ohio will be at the center of it as a swing state once
Always
again.
is.
Election night, another reason.
I know.
We're going to have a lot of fun at 5 o'clock.
It's going to be interesting between now and then, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the weather out there can't make up its mind.
I know. I'm kind of glad that it made up its mind temporarily to stop raining. Jeff?
Yeah, it did, and it looks like it's going to stay that way.
ChrisTanaka, you've seen him with Denise for the past 35 minutes or so. Chris is their newest member of our team. You'll see him on the desk right here at 5, 9, and 10. Did you ever think in a million years that you would be standing right here in the CLE in Cleveland?
Never. Never.
Say aloha to my new co-anchor, ChrisTanaka, who's now calling Cleveland home. He traveled a long way to get here, all the way from sunny Hawaii.
And we thought Hawaii would be a place where we would stay for a while, but public education there isn't that great. Cost of housing is huge, and we were 6 time zones away from our family.
Chris lived in Hawaii with his wife and 2 sons. He was born in Taiwan and even lived in Jordan when he was a kid. Chris has spent some time on the East Coast, in New Hampshire and Boston, then lived in LA, Montana, and Denver. But his roots started right here. Yes, Chris has a Cleveland connection. His dad was born in Cleveland and then later moved to Texas. And his Aunt Cecilia, who is a retired nun, lives in Cleveland.
When I was a kid, we used to visit my Aunt Sis. We used to go to Cedar Point. She was living down in Medina at the time. I got my Medina Bees t-shirt on.
I want to see
go
that
to
t-shirt.
Cedar Point.
So all of those fond memories of visiting Cleveland are still with him, but now Chris is looking forward to making new memories with his own family.
I think this is a great place. It's a great time to be here. We can't wait to get here and just hunker down and grow some roots and live and work and be part of this community.
And after all, who wouldn't want to move to the CLE? There aren't NBA teams in Hawaii, and we just happen to be world champions. Did I mention Chris is a sports fan?
City of Champions.
I like this guy.
City of Champions.
So you heard of LeBron James, right?
I've heard of him, yeah. And look, the Tribe right now as we stand are in first place. We're going to have baseball in October.
So Cleveland, do what we do best. Welcome ChrisTanaka. He's one of us now, and proud to finally call the land home. But it might take a little time to adjust to the snow. It's been a while since he's experienced a real winter. All those Hawaiian shirts, what are you going to do with them? Like sew them all together and make a jacket?
I know, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, we're going to have to get you some jackets and gloves and all the winter gear, Chris, because those Hawaiian shirts, they aren't going to work for a few months out of the year.
Gonna hook you all up, yeah.
Tiffany, you are too much. We all sit in a pod, the 3 of us sit in a pod, and just chatting with her for a week.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun at 9 and 10 and 5 o'clock.
Yep.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to put on a good product for the people of Cleveland, and I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we are really happy that you're here with us, Chris. And welcome home to a certain extent. I mean, your dad's from here, so, and you came here as a kid to visit your aunt and went to Cedar Point. I mean, you're one of us already.
It's amazing. It is amazing. Can't wait.
It's like a homecoming.
Yep.
All right, well, coming up... Welcome back, everyone. Live at 5 o'clock here at the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. We've been telling you about all the different ways to get up close and personal with the animals, like the new tiger exhibit and also the new snow leopard baby.
That's
you get
right.
really up close there at the glass.
And it's not just the exhibits. Now you can go behind the scenes at the zoo. You can spend some time with one of the professionals here. You can even spend the night at the zoo. That is incredible. And here to tell us all about it is Christine Kornak. She's the zoo's education manager. Thank you so much. Let's start with behind the scenes. What does that mean?
Behind the scenes, sometimes people want to really know what goes on, not just from this perspective, but when keepers are out there, what happens, what can they see? a little bit sneak peek. So we have a program called Inside Tracks, 90 minutes. You get to go behind the scenes in 4 different areas. And we switch off those areas summer to winter. So if you've done it once, you may not have seen everything we have to show you. So if you want to be able to get up close and personal, sometimes there's some contact that's available. Sometimes you'll see a training session. It's really cool.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really
I actually got to see when the new rhino was born, the baby, a few years back. They took us behind the scenes, and we actually got to feed the baby. Are you talking that kind of experience? And
at times.
How can you get this?
At times. Go on our website, clevelandmetroparks.com/zoo, and all of our education offerings are there. It's an intimate experience. We only take about 5 to 7 people at a time, so you'll be with one of the staff, but it won't be 30 people with you. So you really have a chance to interact with whatever animals they're seeing on any given day.
When it comes to being a zookeeper, the dreamer thinks of cuddling up with pandas and feeding them milk.
No snuggling.
The curmudgeon thinks about shoveling the pachyderm pen at the end of the day.
They do that.
We can find out what it's all about now, right?
We have a keeper for a day program.
Okay.
So, and that is even more intimate. That's a one person with our staff that actually takes care of our education animals. So all the animals that you see Professor Wild flying during his shows, you'll help feed, clean up after, sometimes train, because you never know if you want to do the job until you've actually done it. Exactly.
And how about the overnight stay? How can you do that? And we're not talking sleepover birthday parties with the 9-year-olds, right?
Well, it is some kids going to our overnight program. So I know earlier Dr. Kuhar told you about Roseboro Tiger Passage, our newest exhibit.
Yeah.
We're starting a brand new overnight this fall that's called Tiger Tracks, so that the focus is going to be in that exhibit. So can you imagine being here at night when those cats have access to outside? January, February, when they're really comfortable and we're freezing, that's going to be awesome to be able to get up close when there's no one else around. So you can really focus on the tigers, and maybe they can really focus on you.
Wow. Christine, incredible stuff here at the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. Thanks so much for spending a few moments with us.
Thanks for coming out today.
Can't wait to explore some of this.
I hope to see you guys back for some of these programs.
Okay, and I'm going to tell Ramona about this, Mark, because I know Ramona's dream is to pet a tiger. So if she wants to do it, she can probably make arrangements out here with the staff.
I think
Just saying.
Yeah, she wants a personal access to that snow leopard.
Welcome back to Cleveland 19 News at 5. Chris Tanaka alongside Denise DeFalo. We're coming to you from the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo.
It's a beautiful afternoon, and you know this is one of the most popular attractions here in Northeast Ohio. And a big reason is because of these beautiful elephants behind us here tonight. We want to tell you, though, a big attraction in Washington, D.C. was closed down over the weekend. The Washington Monument closed because an elevator got stuck and it trapped 3 workers. The same elevator that had problems on Sunday also had problems Saturday. So officials are blaming this on a tripped breaker after all that. It's back open now, though.
Technology to blame there. More technology to tell you.
Cleveland 19.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Denise DeFalo, along with my new co-anchor, Chris Tanaka here. We are joining you live for Cleveland 19 News at 5 o'clock from the Cleveland Metroparks Zoo.
Our first day together at 5 o'clock, and if you're going to make a debut, what better day than National Relaxation Day?
All right, I'm kicking back. That's it.
Exactly.
Feet are going up on the desk
Lower the stress level, and no better place than Cleveland Metroparks Zoo.
It's a good place to be, that's for sure. I want to tell you about this. A 4th grader named Sean Moeller came up with this idea of National Relaxation Day in 1985. He called it a reminder for everyone to slow down and relax.
Genius.
And doctors agree reducing stress improves your health. Of course it does.
Hopefully he's running a company somewhere. He's going to have happy employees.
He should be.
Hey, now to a story you need to see to believe. This is incredible. A Pennsylvania driver caught using her toes to steer. She says because her hands were too busy texting.
Can you believe it? Another driver called out the woman on Instagram. She took down the license plate number, called 911, but Philadelphia police say they need to actually catch the woman in the act to make an arrest. So, you know, come on, let that be a wake-up call to her to get it together. Don't do that. You're going to hurt somebody. All right, a lot more still ahead tonight on